What a year. It has certainly been a year. The year. So very yeary. And now as we enter 2024, it's important that we reflect on the year gone by and ask ourselves the most important questions, such as, has Scorsese heard of editing? Whether the Marvels exists, if no one went to see it, and why everything has gotten a little bit degenerate this year. But there is one question of all that should be asked by any citizen of planet Earth, and that is, what was the best bloody film of last year? Well, let me save you watching the rest of the video and tell you that the best film of the year was...
In Element City, there's earth, air, water, and fire. But we don't mix.
Hey! Yo, Ember, check it out. I'm all grown up. And I smell good. Ow!
Probably a surprising choice. A Disney film. What? In the top 10? But wait, this movie is actually good. Elemental, if you can survive its bizarre first half hour, an atonal political rant about refugees and racism, then what you do get is a very touching rehashing of Romeo and Juliet, minus any joint ritual self-deaths because...
it's for kids.
It's a beautiful movie and has two strong leads that carry the romantic journey to its tear-jerking, heartstring-pulling ending. It's visually beautiful and vibrant and has some neat creative sequences for its more romantic moments. It's truly a surprise as we all expect garbage now from Pixar and Disney, and so it's well worth a watch if you can get through the beginning without groaning at the messaging and weird takes.
Put another gay diverse woman in it, make it more fucking lame!
Ultimately, it's a frustrating Pandaverse start with a strong emotional end. Pixar getting back to its best, finally.
You're in very good hands with us.
After that, what happens then?
Your whole life happens then. John Kramer.
There are a billion Saw films. So many, I couldn't even count them properly in my review. But this is the third best in the franchise after, in my opinion, 1 and 3. This is also the John Wick of Saw films. What I mean is, this is Jigsaw's revenge, and it's a refreshing take on the whole thing. Even if we end up in the same get out of this trap or you will die fucking horribly scenarios. The build-up and the first half of the film, to the point where Jigsaw, the original Tobin Bell, decides to enact his gory revenge, is perfectly paced and feels like a completely different movie. Exceptionally engaging, it earns enough brownie points to allow the movie to devolve into its usual torture porn madness. The traps are okay, but Tobin Bell and also the cast do a stellar job at carrying you through another movie that probably cost less to make, but a McDonald's Happy Meal. Gory, but uniquely character-driven, this is highly recommended.
The galaxy still needs its guardians.
Hello, we come in peace.
This is one of those films where you think it came out last year, but it actually came out this one.
Who exactly am I?
James Gunn's finale to the arguably best thing left in the MCU series, and send-off before he's gone to helm DC's sinking ship, is just excellent, combining the funny and the heartwarming once again with a fantastic cast and soundtrack. It's more of what you love. Again, it is a little forgettable compared to the first, less forgettable than the second, but the first Guardians movie is like the first Pirates of the Caribbean. It came out of nowhere, was fresh, and was unforgettable as a result. Guardians 2 was just a bit zany, so fades into the memory. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 focuses on Rocket Raccoon's horrible life, and I mean, oh my god. This is easily the highlight and main heart tug of the movie, and it all works well bar that this is the first Guardians film post-Endgame, and the much needed depth to the Quill and Gamora relationship doesn't get what it deserved or what we wanted. There's no resolution or real development at all. It's very bizarre. It is, on the whole though, more of what you love and want, and is satisfyingly ensemble as ever. A fitting send-off, and with James Gunn gone, what is there to be excited for anymore?
This hit goes out to you, Mr. Wick.
Woke up this morning
42 regular, wasn't it?
Yeah. And so it begins.
Keanu Reeves is a legend. This is an established fact. The guy seems to be the nicest dude on the planet, an overall good guy that no one can hate on. He also seems to be utterly dangerous and still capable of going Neo on your ass. Dorian Gray here stars as John Wick in the fourth installment of what effectively is the only good action franchise going. And this one is the best since the first. The action scenes are breathtaking.
You're breathtaking!
Seriously, this may be the film with the best filmed and choreographed fight and action scenes of all time.
No way!
Yes way. The one-shot takes in this movie will blow your mind. The Dragon Shotgun Hotline Miami sequence is utterly unbelievable and genius. Donnie Yen is a great addition and provides the foil for this next installment of the "Please Can Someone Try Again to Kill John Wick for Me" film franchise. Keanu phones his performance in. Seriously, is he on Valium or something? But it's got to the point now that this film isn't about story, acting, or drama. It's about Keanu Reeves shooting people in the head twice, judo throwing people around on the floor, and driving fast cars and vehicles, usually into people with excessive brutal force. And we all secretly love it. One of the best action movies of all time.
Why does the zebra look the way it does?
So embarrassing.
Hey, focus.
Is this how it went?
No, it's different now. Oh, you've been on my mind recently.
Yeah?
Because you keep popping up in my dreams. You don't do anything, you're just there.
Nick Cage comes in his pants and then farts. Okay. Dream Scenario is actually a banger of an offbeat A24 movie. Nicolas Cage puts in one of his best ever performances as a university lecturer who suddenly for no reason appears in people's dreams around the world. This is a movie essentially about cancel culture, which hits more than it misses. And honestly, I'm not joking here, Cage is great. Really great. It's diabolically funny in places and holds your attention well until its odd final third, which goes a little bit off the rails in making its more social commentary-laden jokes land. Quirky, weird, and very funny. It's a must-see.
What the hell is that?
How did you get it to do that?
I think he likes me.
No one saw this movie. I can only blame poor marketing and superhero fatigue, as this is a surprisingly excellent superhero movie. If this is the DC direction and the quality going forward, then DC are going to become the dominant force in the comic movie market. Now watch that quote haunt me. So, do you like the Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies? Do you like the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies? If you said yes to both, then get the tissues, Vaseline, and pull down those pants, as Blue Beetle is going to give you a damn good time. Goofy, funny, wholesome, and full of great action and entertainment, it's a knockout punch of a superhero movie. Blue Beetle is basically Iron Man and Spider-Man combined into one hero. So, in other words, he's a broken as fuck superhero with so much sequel and movie potential, it's completely nonsense. Blue Beetle, just to hammer the point home, can make any weapon he wants. So, just in case you aren't convinced, my fellow basement-dwelling nerds, Blue Beetle at one point summons the Buster Sword from Final Fantasy VII. Additionally, DC have finally fixed the terrible CGI action. This is Marvel level quality, which is good signs for the future. Yes, this movie is amazing. Do yourself a favor, pay to watch it somehow, and support this so we get a much deserved sequel.
Hey, Barbie.
We imagine a future. And our imaginings horrify us.
I nearly got you there, but this isn't the worst movies of 2023 list. Come on now.
Don't question it, just roll with it, tiny baby.
Oppenheimer. 3 hours of bomb-making non-action. Christopher Nolan making nuclear physics exciting somehow and hiring a cast of big names and recognizable faces to obscure the fact that this is just a shit ton of talking. It's the Oscar bait movie, and it's extremely engaging, well performed and shot. It flies by, which is its biggest compliment. It's not particularly deep, and it misses a trick in exploring the real impact of the bombs on Japan, and the movie's almost purposeful backing of Oppenheimer and the US's actions in dropping the nukes is disappointing, but overall it's a great movie and one of the best of the year. Cillian Murphy is outstanding and should be looking to get this year's Best Actor nod.
Here's the thing. We're a team of thieves. And when you do this, you're bound to make enemies. Sometimes those enemies come looking for revenge.
Dungeons & Dragons is another one where I couldn't believe it came out this year. What a gift of a movie this was. A movie with the same vibe and tone of the first Pirates of the Caribbean. A perfect cast, hilarious writing, and committed performances encapsulated in a fun adventure which hits all the right beats and wraps up perfectly for a much needed sequel. Compared to the original attempt to adapt this franchise, it's like comparing apples and human waste. Why would you do that? This film is a heist movie of a sort in the midst of a larger plotline, with characters with actual arcs and relatable motivations and flaws. This is a film modern Disney could only dream to make. The movie is a sleeper hit, a feel-good juggernaut of a film, desperately deserving of a sequel. So let's get behind it and let's use nerd power to get the sequel made. We need more of these movies.
Have you seen the group chat? They're doing it again tonight. No. Please. It's my mom's Remembrance Day. I just want to forget about it.
I genuinely thought this would be number one, and I will admit, I enjoyed this more than the number one choice. But I had to be objective here. Talk to Me is a masterpiece of the horror genre. For a first film by two YouTubers, this is masterful work. Like, you'd think Scorsese had directed this. Well, actually no, because it's an hour and a half of perfectly paced, unbloated cinema. Wonderfully shot, written, and paced, the film, although short, is so effective. Everything has been trimmed to perfection. It has some real scares and hide-your-face moments, and wraps up beautifully at the end. The cast is fantastic, and the horror is smart, and at times both truly creepy and disgusting in effective doses. Like a crack-shot sniper, this movie doesn't miss.
Boom! Headshot! Boom! Headshot!
I couldn't stop thinking about how clever, how effective, how impressive this movie is after I saw it. The best horror movie in years. I cannot wait to see what these guys do next.
You alright?
Yeah, I've got a flat tire.
Take my bike.
Hey, that is so kind. Thank you. I'm sorry I don't know your name. I'm Felix.
Oliver.
Oliver. Oliver, I love you. I love you. All right, cheers, Ollie.
My parents, they've got problems.
What kind of? What do you mean problems?
I don't think I'll ever go home again.
Well, why don't you come home with me? Come to Saltburn.
Here it is, number one. What did you expect? I already reviewed this and I told you, it's the best movie of the year. Nothing has changed. This is so special on so many levels. As I did with the Oscars Best Picture nominees review earlier this year, go check it out, I'm not going to spoil it. I don't even spoil it in my review as well, which I suggest you watch if you're really suspicious of this movie. And trust me, I was suspicious of this as well. I thought it would be pretentious garbage. Well, it is pretentious to a degree, but put simply, this is a masterfully written and directed film with a near-perfect cast. Both Hugh Grant and Rosamund Pike are the hilarious highlights of the movie, but the cast of relative newcomers is so strong and the writing so on point, you will enjoy every quirk, oddity, and action each of these larger-than-life characters take. The simple plot is in the long-gone era of 2006. Oliver Quick goes to university at Oxford and tries to make friends with the coolest kid, Felix. Felix, then befriending Oliver, invites him to stay with him at his ultra mansion over the summer. Then things happen. That's the official synopsis. Saltburn takes some brilliant and satisfying turns, and you'll be totally engrossed in seeing where it goes next. Funny, bizarre, dark, and unforgettable. This will leave a mark and have you thinking about it long after the credits roll. A warning, you may need a strong stomach and a sturdy disposition for some highly degenerate scenes, but stick to the end and you might just hear those Oscar bells ringing from afar. A surprise masterpiece. Who would have thought from that really crappy trailer? Saltburn is the best movie of 2023. Thanks for watching. Let me know what your top 10 films were or just your number one. Please like the video, share and subscribe, and let's hope for an amazing 2024 in cinema.